And there you are. I'm Ellie. This story today is a beautiful miracle story by Carol DeVecca. It's called A Rose from Daddy. Now, Carol's father was killed in an automobile accident, and it was a beautiful day, and he was doing a good deed. He was driving someone home from work. And when Carol found out, she was so confused, and she said, what do I do? Do I call Mom? Should I call the kids? Well, it turned out that very recently she'd been in a church, and she had collapsed in that church, and the people had prayed her well. They prayed for her, and she recovered quickly. And she thought of them, and so she telephoned them. And she said, quote, "This is the lady that collapsed in your church last week." Well, they remembered me, she said, and assured me that they would help in any way possible. They truly were a blessing, close quote. After the funeral, Carol's mother asked, she said, "Carol, will you pick up some gifts for some of the people who've been extra kind during this hard time for us?" So Carol took one of her sons with her, and off they went to the store. And the lady, who was a stranger to Carol, knew Carol's father. And she said, she said she would help. Now, they looked at different things, and Carol selected 2 white leather Bibles. And she also picked out a "Bless This House" plaque. And the lady said, as she was getting everything, she reached into the front window display, and she picked out this China rose, and she gave it to Carol and said, "This is for you." Carol was tear-felt, and her tears fell, and she was just overcome with gratitude. As they left and they're driving along on the way home, Carol's son said, "I asked God for a sign, Mom, that Grandpa's with him and that he's all right. And Mom, look at the sky. It's dark gray. There's no sun, but there are white lines of light shining over our house. And there's a rainbow. Mom, shouldn't there be a sun to make a rainbow?" "I don't know," Carol said. "God can do it any way he sees fit," close quote. At the house, Carol's mother goes through all the items purchased. And it was strange because she knew who the items were for, but Carol hadn't told her. And the mother said, "So you got this white Bible for your sister?" No one knew that Carol's sister was mad at God because of the father's death. And the sister had said, "Why was he punished, God? He was doing a good deed. If you hear me, God, let me know my father's with you, please. Send me a white Bible. And God, I'm not going to tell anybody about this so that somebody can go out and get me a white Bible. This is just between you and I. So if you are listening, a white Bible," close quote. Of course, God sent the white Bible. Now, the other white Bible was for an African-American woman who had actually broken down, her car had broken down right in front of Carol's dad's house. And she had 13 children. And the father invited them all in. And he offered them drinks, refreshments. He was just ever so kind. As the mother used the telephone, the father was just fussing and loving. His gesture was just pure kindness. The woman felt that God had sent her an angel that day. And when she was given one of those white Bibles, she cried because she'd never told anybody, but ever since the time that she'd been a young child, she had wished that she could have a white Bible. It was a sweet desire within her, but she wouldn't share that desire with anyone. And the bless this house plaque? Well, it was given to a person that didn't have a home. And then 2 weeks later, they had a home. So finally, Carol's mother picked up that China rose that the woman had given her at the store. And her mother took it and she looked at it and she said, "Oh, Carol, this rose is for you and it's from Daddy." Everyone was in tears. I love this story, Carol, and I'm so grateful that you sent it. And I'm grateful that you are all here and keep coming back. And thank you for sharing the stories and thank you for your comments. Really appreciate you. This is Ellie saying goodbye at 25,000 Miracles.